Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. Now I've got both tractors working these fields. Should be enough room for them to do all the turning around that they need to do with the trees on the end. I shouldn't have to worry about those. I will just pop into... Actually, you know what? I'm going to go to a different machine just in case it does try to mess it up. If we go to here and then I go to the landscaping bit and we can go up to this field, just as long as you don't click anything with your mouse, you can use the landscaping thing to have a look around at everything. And looking along at this end of the field, he did all of his turning round without any problems at all, even though we got the trees over on this side of the road. There were no issues there at all, so that field has actually been planted up quite nicely. Next, I want to go and get those two. And I want to put them into the shop. Just need to reverse them over and then we can sell them. So there is the first one. Run you back over here. Like that. Go and get the next one. Just wiggle in and out of them a little bit. Like that. There we go. Grab you. Bring you back over this side. And yes, I know I'm dropping these from a height like that, but we can live with that. I shouldn't even have to be here. I don't know why the dealer doesn't have a tractor that he can do it himself with. He went and collected the machinery. Right, sell that one for 5,300 and... Oops. Need to do that. Press the wrong button. Okay, let's try that again, shall we? Ah, there. And sell that one for 5,000. Right, so I've now got 194,000 euros. I need a planter of some kind. Now, we've got this one here that has a 6-meter spread on it. This one here has a 6-meter spread on it. This takes 600 litres. This one takes 696 litres. That is seed and fertilizer. That one is just seed. This one here takes just fertilizer. This one here takes seed and fertilizer. So what I can do... that one does take both. I think what I end up doing is I put some fertilizer in there and then seed in that one. This one's a bit cheaper. Or then we move up to that one, which is 9,000 litres. It's got a 9-meter spread on it. And then you're moving into big territory here. Although this Kverneland right here, 180 horsepower, 9 meters. Kind of like the idea of this one. I mean, you look at that thing there. Yeah, you drive it to the field on that bit there, but then you unhitch when you get to the field, and you go and you hitch in on the side over here. And that's the bit that you then use for working in the field. I haven't used one of these yet. I mean, it is 70,000 euros, which is not very cheap. However, I do really like the idea of having this one doing our work in the field. Now, 22 would be the maximum speed. Kind of think that might... I'm going to put that to 20. All right, I'm gonna set that on 20, and I am going to buy this one. I'm going to go with this one. It's Kverneland one right here. I kind of like the idea of trying this one. So there's one. Okay, I don't know what that ding thing was, but that's new and different. Anyway, so we've got those, and then we're going to go into here. I now need 2 machines for doing our cultivating, and I had 2 of those. I don't want these 2. And then these over here require a significant amount of horsepower to be able to pull. Significant horsepower that I just don't have. We've got the Kverneland stuff here. Again, it's significant amounts that I don't currently have. So we'll go to the disc harrows. Now, I've got that one there. It's a trailed one. It's a 5-meter spread. That's a really good one. I know I've used. And is within our price range. We can get 2 of those. The Amazon one right there, we cannot afford 2 of them because we've just gone and blown a pile of money on our seed drills. So we need to go up through here. I'm not getting that one. That's a modded one. I used that in the Estancia Lapacho time-lapse series and is really good, but I feel it's underpriced for what we're getting, so I'm deliberately going to avoid using that one. None of the others are within price range, so it looks like we're having this one, whether we want it or not. This one, I do sometimes have trouble with it lifting out of the ground and not quite following properly, but we're going to go with that anyway. You go 24k, you do. Crumbs, that is a fair old speed. I'm going to take it. I'm going to do that. Right, so I will buy that one and buy again. There we go. So I now have spent all of my money. Oh, I forgot about the delivery costs as well. That was lucky. We got 1,600 left. Oops. 188,000 in new vehicles. I completely forgot about the delivery cost at 5% of whatever we buy. Fortunately, we had just enough money. By the time we finish doing our planting, though, we won't have the money that we need to be doing it all. But let's go and have a look at the new toys. Let's have a look at the shinies and see what we've got here. I know the cultivators, they're just the cultivators, right? We've seen those plenty of times before. No problems with those. Look at that. There's just a standard cultivator. We'll put that one away. It's the Kverneland ones over there. They're the interesting ones. They're the ones that have caught my eye. So let's go and stick. We'll put the two cultivators right here in the shed just here. I'll back both of those in. And they are then ready. And we have to have the cultivators, because with the planters, they don't direct drill. No planters direct drill. You have to go and prepare the ground for them first. So we've got one in there. And we'll go and get the second cultivator. Fortunately, we don't have to plow the fields. I mean, I've got plowing turned off anyway. So the only plowing that we ever need to worry about is when we buy new fields and we just want to do, you know, the bits around the edges. Now, having gone and spent this vast sum of money on these machines right here, I don't have any money to go paying back the loan at the moment. So we're just going to have to hope that we can do that with our next crops instead. Let's dump you there. Right, there's two cultivators lined up and ready to roll. Now I want to have a look at this. I've not seen this one before. We've not tried this one before. I absolutely love the idea of this, though. So I'll bring you onto there. I've now got this one right there. I could drive this one around. I'm going to have a look here. Select seed. At the moment it's on corn. We don't want that. We're going to want sunflowers. Open cover. Alternative AI. I don't want that. Circular mode. Yada, yada, yada. All right. There's nothing on there that I want. Put the cover out there so we can fill up. Like that. Close cover. I'm going to go and refill this one. So I'll bring you on round. You can turn reasonably sharp with this thing. So I'll bring you over to this side, like that, there. And I want to start filling. Now, I need to put some fertilizer in here, obviously. Is that all I can put in there? It says 2,000 litres. That might actually be everything that I can do with... Why can't I turn any sharper than that? I can turn sharper this way. Oh, no, I can't. Right, so you can't turn too sharp with this thing. Where's the seed? I've put the seed over here. Right, yes, you can't turn too sharp with this thing. You do have to be a little bit careful with it. And if I go into here, right there... start filling there. I've got seed in there. Why aren't you filling with seed? Telling you to... Maybe I can't do it on here. Maybe that's the problem. Right, in which case I'll unhitch that one and then I will move over this side and maybe I need to do it like this. I hook from here and I go like that. Right, so then I put this one on here. Now, obviously, I got to unfold this thing. So that goes like that. The hitch goes back, and then those wheels, they just lift up. They literally just lift up out of the way like that. Okay, it's a very, very simple way of moving it round and sort of transforming it. Okay, and now I can go back into here. Like that. Oh! Of course, that's why I can't fill it. I'm here looking at this, and I'm really wondering what's going on. It's because we've got no money left. You've actually got to have money in order to be able to do this, and I don't have any money. So we can't do anything with this at the moment. We're going to have to fill this one up at a later date. We simply don't have the cash available to do it. So I've put that one back down like that. And unhitch. And then I'll move to the front of it. And I'll just reverse it into the shed for now. And have that one out of the way. The two tractors, they're still working hard in the field. We can ignore them. That's as tight an angle as we can get on this. So... yeah, it's really good, and it's fantastic that it sort of folds up like this, so you don't have to try and get down the road with a really wide machine, and it makes it a lot easier for... it's cheaper to manufacture like this than it would be to have the whole thing sort of folding up on two big beams, is my guess. That's why it's constructed like that. Also, I would guess it would actually make it stronger, because then this all the way down through is able to be one solid steel beam all the way down through without having to have any joints or breaks in it, which means, in theory, this entire machine should be a fair bit stronger than something that is sort of filled up a little bit differently. So I don't know how it would compare with the... well, what's it called? I don't remember what the name of the machine is now. Planters in here. The Horsch right there, because that's also a 9-meter spread, that one. And if you look on the back, like, I mean, that one's got two bends on the beam on the back. So, I mean, I don't know. You've got a joint there, and obviously if it's trailing down across the field, if this is traveling down across the field, there's a lot of pressure on that joint right there. There's a lot of pull on that joint right there. So that could potentially be causing it a lot of problems for later on. There could potentially be quite a few engineering issues that could turn up from that. I mean, I don't know. That would be my guess. That would be, you know, one positive of having it like this, and the other positive, obviously, I'm saying I think it would be cheaper to run. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is actually cheaper to run, but that's my guess anyway. I'm guessing that it is a little bit cheaper. Now, I'm just going to park you into the shed right there, and we need to go up here and check this. We've got growth right there, and then soil composition. We can ignore the whole lime and ploughing thing. We don't need to worry about them. It's just the fertilizer. So we need to wait until we've got another growth stage, and then we can get some fertilizer on the field. I've got both the combines put away. I've got everything else done that I need to do. We just need this field here to be planted, and then we will be able to go and get a little bit of sleep, and the job will be all finished. Now, this is doing a great job and everything, but I'm bored already. Right. What I'm wondering is... the Amazon Profi Hopper. Like, we went in with the... oh, hang on, no, the Profi Hopper, I'm pretty sure that one didn't actually have any speed adjustment available on it. This one here didn't, but that's because the maximum speed of the machine is 9 kilometers per hour anyway. And also, I did find out that the Alpine Farming Pack has sort of been sealed, and it cannot be altered. It's been hard-coded, so other mods, whilst they affect other things in the game, they won't necessarily affect those. It's so that people don't go stealing the Amazon, that they don't go stealing the stuff from there and then releasing them as mods on other sites, which, you know, that's fair enough. And yes, I remember now, the Profi Hopper doesn't actually have the speed adjustment mod available on it anyway. Honestly, I can't be bothered with driving the machine around to try and get just a little bit of cash. It takes a fair while to go and fill anything up, and then time you get it down here and you get it sold, these guys will be finished. So we'll just let these do what they're going to do. I'm going to go over here, though. I'm going to go up this way. I'm going to take a look at my bees. Now we've got them here. We might as well have the occasional just 10 minutes having a look at them, watching them fly. There they go. Sounds so relaxing up here, doesn't it? Isn't that absolutely wonderful? Knowing how much money they're bringing in as well. I mean, we're minus 1,200 euros at the moment, but by the morning we could be... well, I don't know. I don't know if they'll offset the cost of the loan, even. I'm not sure. I'm sure we've already found that out, but I'm still not quite sure. Right. Anyway, we've looked at the bees. These guys... Ooh. Tell you what, by the time he get... Like, his pass here... That one in front of us, if he does one more pass... He comes all the way up through. There's enough room for him to get back up here. There's only going to be about 3 passes left on this field. You're not going to get hung up with each other here, are you? Actually, they might. I mean, no, they shouldn't do. They shouldn't do. This dude here, he's just reversing up so that he can turn round. And then he doesn't actually need to finish because that one there, he should do the entire field. I think he will get through it all right there. I'm hoping he does, because I'm a gambling man now, and I've gambled on them being able to do that. You will put these two right in here. I could have put the 2 cultivators, one in front, the other, I suppose, but that's fine. I don't actually need these 2 for a little bit. So if I back them both in here, these are really difficult to reverse. Like, more so than other things that I've had that are like... I know it's quite a short wheelbase on it, so technically you'd think that, yeah, you accept that it's going to be a little bit tricky, but I don't know, there's just something about these that seem a little bit more difficult for reversing than a lot of other machines. So this tractor here can go over onto this side, and he's then on that cultivator, ready to go when we need to do that one again. You over here, the next job that you're going to be doing is that fertilizer spreading right there. So I'll get you hooked on that one. Let's go on there like that. And your spreader width is currently 45 meters. That's perfect. You can stay on that one. And you over here, final slice down across the field. And we have got the canola planting all done. So all we got to do is wait for the conditions to be right. You finished? Are you going to stop? In your own time. I want to find out what this tractor is doing. Like it's all saying it's planted there. Let's go and have a look over here. Right, at the moment, canola is on 1,500. The best price that I have seen for canola on here is 2,300. So we need to be above 2,000 for selling. Which, if you look at these numbers, by the time we get to... Now, what are you doing here? No. You're just driving around now for the sake of... You know, just no. There may have been a little tiny spot that it left down the other end of the field, which is why it's doing it, but I don't care. I'm just going to leave it go. Right. Considering the time, I suspect that we will skip the night next. That will be our very next task that we go and do. I could have put these seed drills over in the next bay, and it probably would have been a little bit easier than trying to wedge it all in here, but what's done is done. I've now wedged. Right. Jam that lot all into there. Just like that. And then this tractor can move over into the next bay. Just in here. And you're done. And then we'll jump up to here. Right. Yeah, by the time we get round to our harvest, there we... Can we sleep yet? Yes, we can. Ideal. I'm going to go with the longest available sleep. By the time we get to our harvest, I'm thinking, oh, 6 grand for the 4,300 property maintenance, 1,100 loan interest. Yeah, the bees are not covering our expenses at the moment. And we've just had another growth stage, so it's actually on growth stage 2, but that's fine. As long as it doesn't go any more than that. I'm going to slow you down now to just normal time scale. And I'm going to run over to you. And we go and put some fertilizer on these fields. Now, I'm going to have to rely very heavily on the AI for this, because I can't see very well through the thick coat of crop that we've got. That certainly makes it a little bit more tricky to see what I'm doing. This field here, I'm kind of hoping that I do get all of it covered. Bring it around like this. But the rest of them, I'm just going to put the hired help going. And I'm going to hope that the hired help is able to dust it all over sufficiently. Now, if I bring you up to there like that and stop, and then I go into here, we'll take a look. At the moment, ooh, and that's still going up there at the ranch, 2,200. We could be going in for a record-breaking price right there. Fruit types, growth, we're on the 3rd stage at the moment. We may be able to harvest by the end of the day. Don't quite know at the moment. I did get full coverage on that bit. Ideal. I will go... Actually, I'll go this way. We'll go from here. We'll go right up to the top field. And I'm just going to put the hired help going on the edge of the field. And I'm not going to do anything with it. At least that's what I'm thinking. It depends where he goes to turn round for the trees. Like, it could be... that I do need to do a single pass along the top edge. Not quite sure at the moment. Don't know. I'm also going to spend an absolute fortune doing this. So our bees, whilst they're bringing in some money, and, you know, it is nice, they don't bring in vast sums, and they're certainly not going to be covering our expenses at the moment. You can go up through there. You're going to end up doing... I don't think just 2 passes is going to be enough. I mean, I look at that. No. It's going to be a triple pass. But, I mean, I look at that. I could be moved over a bit. I could probably be moved over to about there. But it's still not going to quite do half the field. Is it? It's down this end. It's whether or not it will go right over to the edge of the field... It does actually get to... Right, ideal. That one has made it to the edge of the field. That is good. You over here, field 27. What are you on at the moment? You are ready to harvest. We could actually probably pick up a contract to do that one. Field 27. I've no intention of doing a contract, mind. No, I don't have field 27 here for a contract for harvesting. Wonder if maybe it would have brought that one up. But no, it hasn't done. There is no contract there for harvesting that field. So now if I go and have a look in here and have a look there. Yeah, I don't think it quite would have been enough to be able to do all of it in 2 passes. It's possible, though. Wonder if I can get it lined up a little bit better down there and see if we get that in just 2 passes on the field. I mean, that's... Oh, I know that he's stopping right there. It's because of that tree over on that side. This is why you've got to sort of help it out a little bit at times. So if I'll let that one stop there, and then I will just manually drive it over here like that. And I'll plonk you in there like that, and then go, and then that will just finish off this piece. We can go right up through, and then we'll be able to go and get the ones up at that end as well, without too much trouble. And this is the bit that's slow. I mean, if I was to get another fertilizer spray, I don't have the money for it at the moment, but if we were to go and get a second one of these spreaders, we will eventually have a second spreader working. That could be working down on one of the fields down there, especially once we get more land. It's just a no-brainer. We would definitely be wanting to be able to do something like that. It makes life so much more simple, doesn't it? It really does. Like, just put 2 of them going, one after the other. You just kind of help them out with the end, like help one out the end of the field while the other one's doing the bulk of the work there somewhere, and then you help the second one out of the field. while the first one's doing the bulk of the work in the field that it's in, and you just keep alternating between the two, and it's like poetry in motion. Now, I bring you down here and just whiz along that bit. Now, what I want to do is I actually want to try and line this up. So I'm going to be spending a little bit of fertilizer out just to try and get that. So I go over a bit more, I think. Like that, maybe. More still. Alright, let's try that there. Is that going all the way out? Yeah, that's going to the edge. I could probably go over a bit more. 2 passes. That we'll be able to do the entire field in just 2 passes. Right down through there. Alright, there's more than half that field that I've just picked up on here. There's an insane spread on it. It's very difficult to see what I'm doing. All the way out there. It's difficult to sort of see what I'm doing and lining it up. Because of how wide the spread is on this thing. Now, we'll stay right here. We'll let him do his turning around. And as soon as he's done that, we will see if we've actually got this right. There's a bit of straw left out there. Okay, that is like... You see how far over he is now? Wow. That's actually gonna, that's going to reach the next field, isn't it? Not quite. It's not quite reaching over to that next field. It's pretty close. But he's not quite there. He's literally covering the entire path, though. The path, the road. He's covering the entire road right there. But he's not quite reaching all the way across it. But that's just 2 passes on that field. Right the way down through. And it does it at 27k as well, so we get a really good coverage from that. That is absolutely fantastic. So at least the fertilizer jobs have been sped up a bit. Right? Because, like, I'll be honest with you, whilst I do it, I've always found these jobs to be the dullest jobs. And there are times, you know, when I was playing this game on my own, I would just sort of... I know that the fertilizer job would have to be done, and I'd look at it, and I'd think, you know what, I can't be bothered with that today. I'm just not going to bother with it. Like, I'll do a bit while I'm doing other work, but the extra one, in order to get just that little extra bit of fertilizer going onto the fields, I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to leave it this time. We'll just harvest with slightly less. And... yes, I know it does take a hit on the yield. I did figure out a way afterwards of doing it so that I never had to worry about doing an additional fertilizer run. And that was, you could do fertilizer twice in a row. You didn't have to wait for different stages. Or just like the way that it worked, it just kind of allowed you to do the direct drill and then do more fertilizer, or do it the other way around, which you can't do at the moment on this one. And so what I would do is, I think I've already told you this, is I had the fertilizer, it was an old fertilizer spreader, I think it was an old Amazon one, it may have been a Lizard one at the time, and I'd put that one on the front, and I think he had like a 15-meter spread on it. It may have been slightly less than a 15 meters, sorry, slightly more, it might have been a 20-meter spread on it, or an 18, or something like that. And then I had the Amazon... Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. And for those of you wondering, the paid promotion notification that came up at the beginning of the video is because in the description down below, you will find a link to Fanatical. I have an affiliation with them. If you use that link, I will earn a small commission on anything that you choose to purchase. But that is all we have got time for, so if you have enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well, that would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, this is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.